Okay, so let's get straight into it. Kurt on Facebook, which is quite apt. Will the ticket office remain on Frogmore Road or move to the new club shop site? Anybody that doesn't know, Kurt works in the ticket office.
Ticket office, yeah. No, the ticket office will be moving to the new club store. So it's going to be like easy entry in. There'll be more space for supporters out of the elements where, as you know, currently in Frogmore Road, have to queue up in the street, you know, really exposed to the weather conditions. So there's going to be some internal covering both inside the shop and along an alleyway that is covered. And it's a great way to get people into the shop. You know, they buy their tickets, walk out through the shop and hopefully make a purchase on their way out.
And of course, queues in the rain are at an end now.
Well, unless we get about, I think it works out 200 or 300 people queuing, which we do have, by the way. Anything up to that figure, we should be able to cope under the roof there, so no problems.
Okay, brilliant. Multiple fans. Are there any tangible financial benefits from the link up with Portsmouth University, or will there be potential for land on Langston campus to be utilised?
I mean, the tangible financial benefits obviously is the cost of the sponsorship. Which, as we said, wasn't at the forefront of our thinking, but it was still a decent figure. But yeah, I mean, in regards of the land at Langston, there's been no formal talks on that, although we're obviously in the loop of what is actually going on there, and in the future that could become interesting to us, especially more so the investment that they're putting into the site itself in regards of the sports facilities. But no, the big point of the deal for those of you that have not really been like following it is
where were you?
Yeah, is the spin-off benefits in regards of the attraction for me personally, and I know in regards to Michael and our board, that we consider ourselves to be very central to the city, not just the football club, but representatives of the city of a whole. So to wear the University of Portsmouth away games and to be seen nationally and internationally on TV wearing that was a very strong pull for us. And it was a very strong pull for us in regards of engaging with the kids in the most underprivileged areas of our city and trying to get them to go to the university as well as, you know, the big out of town people that attend the university and hopefully converting them into becoming lifelong Pompey fans. So it's a lot bigger picture. And we see that there's four pillars to our city. There's obviously ourselves as the football club, which, you know, carries the hearts and soul of so many of the people that live on the island and beyond. You know, got Pompey at heart. There's the city council, you know, the administrative side of it, and obviously the elected element as well that we're very close with now. There's the Navy. Again, hopefully there'll be some things coming out regarding the Navy over the coming weeks and months that's very exciting for us moving forward. And the university. And all of us have a passion, not just for our own individual entities, but we have a passion for the city as well. And hopefully that can manifest itself by everyone coming together to portray a positive image for what I consider to be a great city as well as a great football club.
And a lot of cultures involved in as well.
There's cultures involved, and it's important we do work together. As I've said, that when I go away, and it's the same with fans, staff, players, manager, yeah, we're representing the football club, but I see myself as a representative of the city. This is a unique football club in a unique city, and it goes beyond the realms or the boundaries of just being a football club.
Okay. Ash on Twitter. When are we finally going to have a Pompey Ladies under the club officially? And of course, if you don't know, Portsmouth Ladies playing Queen's Park Rangers Ladies at Fratton Park this coming Sunday.
Yeah, the Pompey Ladies is a relatively new entity in the history of the club. It's always been outside of the club, self-funding, self-generating, and it gets the support of the main football club. Mick Williams recently has taken that on board, has worked very, very hard, but, you know, having had discussions with Mick, I know it is a very, very expensive hobby, as in all football. Obviously not as expensive as Michael in the main club, but it in its own right, it's still a very, very expensive hobby. So if we was to do that in regards to the club, it would be taking on quite a substantial financial commitment. And with the greatest respect to the ladies, and as I say, we do what we can to support them short of finances. You look at the number of people that attend the games, and is there the demand there? I mean, speaking to the games I've been to and speaking to Mick, it's in the region of 60 to 80 people average attendance. So is the demand there that would warrant that financial investment? So it's just something that is an ongoing discussion, and so we are talking currently with Mick and key members of the Ladies, PITC and even the university. So we're just trying to see to formulate some way of maybe bringing that closer into the club, but there's been no decision made on that yet.
But of course the fact of them playing at Fratton Park this Sunday is move forward.
Oh yeah, and they played last year, and actually that was slightly better attended than it would be if the game was held at Gosport, Hampton, Waterlooville or Bognor, wherever their games are being held. Obviously, the allure of Fratton Park with the Ladies is special, but the only way we can do it at the end of the season is because of the constraints of the pitch, and you don't want the pitch dug up for the men's first team, and the impact that will have on our season as such.
Okay, Kieran on Twitter. Will there be a fresh batch of season tickets going out for next season due to the crest change? And if so, please can we avoid the disaster of getting them out like there was this season?
Yeah, no, the answer to that is no. Everyone's existing season ticket pass will be valid this next year despite the change of the crest. Anyone applying for a new season ticket, and the reason we did that, we could have easily put the cost on to supporters. We didn't think that was fair. It's us as a club that has changed the club crest, so we didn't want to pass that cost of reprinting, and they're very expensive, the season cards, believe it or not, of passing that cost on. We absorb part of the cost, but supporters historically have absorbed the other part. So we didn't think that was fair to do that. So we decided that we would run with the existing season cards, at least for this coming season. But anyone applying for a new season ticket, we are having a new batch now designed with the new crest on, so they will get the new crest, obviously, and then they pay a little bit extra because they're a new season ticket holder anyway. Funny enough, we had a discussion the other day, would there be a demand for people to actually pay the extra to get a new season card with the new crest? So if we feel that is that demand, then it is something we may possibly offer to supporters to say, look, I don't mind paying X amount to get a new season card with a new crest, and we let people have that option. So it's something we may consider moving forward, but at this moment in time, the existing cards are going to be valid, and there's going to be no extra cost to supporters to keep them cards and force them to make a change.
And of course, popular news for season ticket holders were that prices were frozen.
Yeah, the board thought long and hard about it. There was price rises, as you know, going into this league last year to account for the fact that there hadn't previously been a price rise effectively for 4 seasons, and aligned with the fact we jumped into a new league. So that we had discussions about that. We felt that despite the national minimum wage going up this year and other regulatory and statutory requirements in regards of extra staff and equipment that was needed, that was all adding costs onto the club, that this year we didn't feel that was sufficient enough for a price rise, and rather than just make small incremental rises year after year, we'll just hold it back a year and then review it more at the end of next season.
Okay. All the way from Japan, Nagoya Pompey. Apparently the gender pay gap at PFC is about 10%. What are you doing to address this?
I think it was actually a lot more than 10%, and as in common with all other football clubs, because unique in football, the gender pay gap is very difficult to address, to narrow it. I mean, you can narrow it off the pitch, and we have done that, and we are working towards making that even closer. However, in regards of the headline figure, because our football players are the highest earners at the club, along with the manager, and his support staff, so they're the highest earners, and they're all male. So legally, we can't have women footballers, so there's no way around that. So we are always going to have a huge gender pay gap at football clubs. If you strip that out, actually the gap is very minimal now. We've got some really good senior execs now that are female that have really come to the fore. Marie Steadman, Anna Mitchell, Commercial Director, Marie Steadman, Head of Stadium Safety and Security, Hazel Hatch, Head of C&B Operations. So, it's something that we've worked on. Not really, I'll be honest, consciously. It's just because these people are it's not like you're doing well because you're a woman and we want you to do well. I would never work like that in my own business, and I'm not going to start now at Portsmouth Football Club. So they've earned that by right and are doing fantastic jobs in their own rights. And the women generally, as I've been in business, they're I don't think anyone in serious business people looks at someone and either doesn't give someone a job because they're a woman or promotes them because they're a woman. You just have to do it on merit, and we're very lucky. We've got a great group of young women coming through that I think are great for the club now and will be great for the club in the future.
Okay. Greg on Twitter, as an iFollow subscriber abroad, I was wondering if the club gets any revenue from this, as although I don't mind paying, I would like to think it benefits the club also. Also, I would like to add, I admire your transparency with fans.
That's great, thank you for that. But in regards of iFollow, yes, we do get a cut of the iFollow subscription. I think it's fair to say Michael has been very, very upset. It's a product that's controlled by the Football League. Yeah. Michael, along with myself, along with Anna, along with Dan, along with you, all of us have been upset with the quality of iFollow this year. It is in its infancy. And we have been promised improvements for next year, and I'm pretty sure that as the subscribers grow and there's that revenue generation back into the product, then year on year there will be an improvement.
Shouldn't these products be tried and tested before they come out?
Yeah, the problem you got is that it's still a relatively small market. So if you take, let's just say there's plenty of championship clubs that are only getting iFollow subscribers of 500-600. So it's a very, very small amount of revenue to justify the expense of having multiple cameras and, and having instant replays and having, so there's a huge amount of investment that needs to go into that. So it's a case of, do you put, the cart before the horse, or the horse before the cart? It's one of them. And what the Football League have done this year is basically tested the water with it on a very basic one camera, commentator not in the stadium, remote away watching the game and commentating on it, which hasn't been great, and we all know that. Sometimes the picture quality has not been great. It's lacked, as we know, the score, it's lacked the time, it's lacked so many different aspects that, because of Michael's background, obviously it's something he's been focused on, and he has been working, quietly behind the scenes, trying to exert pressure so that our customers do have a better experience. And as I say, I am confident next year, because of our subscriber base, we can deliver a far better experience than what we've had this term.
Okay. Another Kieran on Twitter, might be the same one that asked the question earlier. Can we offer Derry City a friendly? Because their manager thinks they're better than us. And I don't know if you saw the comments attributed to Kenny Shields. And please give a tongue-in-cheek reply.
He's not been very friendly, so we'll have to see how that one pans out. Yeah.
And finally, multiple fans on Instagram. Any chance of a marquee friendly with a team other than AFC Bournemouth this pre-season? Possibility of a different Premier team to avoid it getting repetitive?
Yeah, we have a great relationship with Bournemouth. I know the chairman really well. The management teams get on. So we do have this great relationship. So it is something we're looking to change this year and look for something different. And we're in the process of trying to sort that out at the moment.
Okay, and say no more, but read this.
Just wait. And so, little by little, we are gradually trickling out now as we do sign up these deals for pre-season friendlies. So that I'm sure over the next couple of weeks, that marquee one, the last one before the first game of the season, which we're looking to have at home. Hopefully we can manage to attract a really, really decent team.
Okay, brilliant. Well, it is the end of the season, so what are you up to now?
Just got a lot on. We've got the Football League conference coming up. I'm going to try and have a week away next week. Obviously my phone's on, my email's on, as you know, but it will genuinely, I do need a little bit of a break, as we all do at the end of a hard season. But most of all, I just want to thank supporters for their support during this year. Once again, it's been immense. Just some great away days for me, some great home games, the Wigan game away at Blackpool, MK Dons, springs to mind, some great away days, and your support is inspirational. We'd never ever take it for granted, and we'll be doing all that we can during the close season and during next season to really replicate the support that we get and to give you the success that you deserve. So I'd like to thank supporters.
Consolidation was the buzzword, so consolidate you have.
Yeah, I did say at the start of this season that it was potentially fraught with difficulties. Businesses don't like change generally, and football clubs are more sensitive than most businesses in that regard. So to have a change of manager, change of players, change of ownership, change of league. Even though I knew we were doing things the right way, there was that concern in my mind, because it happens, you know. I mean, you look at Northampton this year as an example. Oldham had new owners come in, you know, with a promise of all this extra money, and I'm being totally respectful of them. It just hasn't quite worked out. You know, they get their idea of a new manager and things, and clubs don't like change. They like stability, and that's what we're trying to build here for the long term. And I think one of the key aspects since Michael, Andy, Eric and the rest of the board came into the club is I feel very stable and settled here. And if you look at it, we've still got the same CEO, still got the same commercial director, still got the same COO, we've still got the same manager from when he took the club over. He hasn't come in and tried to rip it up and start again. He believed in us, you know, he believed in the football club, he believed in the fans, and he believes in stability and planning for the long term. And, you know, I feel that we've managed to get through this year because of that stability and calmness behind the scenes. There's no knee-jerk reactions, everything's very calm, and look at things methodically, how can we address it? And let's not put a band-aid over it just to fix it for the next week or month. Where are we going to be in 2, 3, 4 years? And that's really refreshing. It's great in football, and I get, because of the emotion of football, sometimes that doesn't always tie in with fans' expectations. But as I've said previously, I can assure you that in the long term, you know, this club is going to just keep improving year on year, and we will get to where we want to be. Whether that's quick enough for some fans, that's not for me to really answer. That I can't manage fans' expectations to that level, but I can assure you that we will be looking to improve on and off the pitch year on year. By the way, over the previous 5 years, we've only regressed once in terms of league position on the pitch. So that is something that we are looking to continue moving forward. So we've got a history of.
Somebody said to me once that Tesco would give their eye teeth to have a customer base like this football club, because they keep coming back.
They keep coming back, but that's what I just said previously. You can't take that for granted. Johnny, you know that, you know, and you know how I am in that office. We never take supporters for granted, yeah. I know, because I've been a fan all my life. It takes a lot to get up early on a Saturday morning or travel on a Friday night, or even just to have a row with the missus or whatever, or something's going on with the kids, to attend a home game. You know, people do put themselves out for the football club, and we have that obligation to repay that faith and support, you know, with success. But I carry that weight of responsibility on my shoulders, and to a degree, I would hope all people that work at this football club feel the same, because we have got that weight of expectation and responsibility. And when we win games, it's just like pure elation, because I know that we're going to have 18,000 fans go home happy, have a great weekend and have a great week on the back of the result on the Saturday. So that's a massive responsibility, and you can't take that lightly.
But they do continue to come back. The gates have been immense this season.
I think they continue to come back, not just because of what is going on the pitch. They continue to come back because of the respect we show them off the pitch as well. And if we don't, I want to know about it.
Yeah. Okay, well that is a great way to leave.
Thank you.
That's a great
have a great summer, everyone, by the way.
Yeah. Great way to sign off for the summer. You want to know about it. And
all right.
Everything going on as normal in the meantime.
We'll just keep moving forward, and as I said, when fans come back in the summer, hopefully they'll start to see the fruits of some of the work that we've already undertaken during this first year behind us.
Well, you did say, trust me, they will come back.
They will come back and see changes.
Mark, thank you
Johnny,
very much.
thank you. Dan, thank you.
Thank you.